He's going to hand me this camera. I'm going to film her coming in and then have her come up to the fire some, and then she's going to talk into the camera. It's going to fog up a little bit.
Okay.
Getting the message out.
Are you ready?
Good to go.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. And coming up tonight at 10, I'm going to show you just how hot it is and how dark it is inside a live fire. We'll see you after the game. All right, let me get one more time. Can I have you start on that and then hand to me?
What is it like to be a firefighter? What does it take to do the job? Getting the message out was the goal for several participating fire departments in southern Illinois. This Fire Ops 101 was a collaborative effort of local fire departments and the Associated Firefighters of Illinois.
Well, the way it came about was the union approached us, and they had been doing this nationwide, kind of with the International Association of Firefighters. We had this facility in Carbondale, and they started talking about bringing in other towns and possibly talking to the mayors and the council members and city managers.
Firefighters aren't only putting out fires, they're responding to emergency medical incidents. They're doing hazardous materials, auto extrication, and it requires a lot of different equipment and resources to provide it. This really gives firefighters and elected officials and communities across the state an opportunity to talk about the issues that are facing each of them and to come out and see firsthand just how physically demanding these jobs can be.
And what I've told the different people that we have brought with us, this is just a small taste of the stuff that we do.
My job was to be the videographer for a local TV anchor reporter named Ronnie LaForge. What are you expecting to see?
A lot of fire.
Ronnie started with learning the gear, a fit test, and on the day of the event, a quick physical assessment.
Right now, we're getting our blood pressure checked to make sure it's nothing crazy before we, raise our blood pressure.
Ronnie was joined by a group of mayors, council members, and aldermen, and a city manager. Soon, it was time to suit up and head to the fire ground to experience Fire Ops 101.
Good?
We're good. Now we're good.
So how's it feel?
I'm a little hot. It's cold out here and I am hot. I'm burning up in this thing. And we haven't even went into the fire yet.
Alright, and pop your air in.
So, this is it. Building's on fire. Let's get the hose line in, all right?
Okay, right. Open the hose or not?
This is the first chance for Ronnie and her team members to experience the world of firefighting, using an air mask, breathing clean air inside a hostile environment.
She experienced what we experience every day, just going into a fire. It's usually going to be in the middle of the night when we get these fires, so it's going to be pitch black, and it's already going to be smoky and hot.
The smoke will bank down. If the fire is big enough, then the smoke will bank down past where we can get down low. But of course, staying low, that's why when we have people escape from a house, we tell them stay low, try to get under the smoke as much as possible, because at the floor will be the least amount of smoke.
So they were asking, we have flashlights. Well, a lot of times flashlights won't do nothing but just blind it. It hits the smoke and it doesn't go through the smoke. It's that dark and thick. So we're listening for the crack and we feel the heat. When we're getting hotter, we're getting closer. When we hear the cracks, we know we're getting closer.
You make it?
Okay.
There we go.
That's unlike anything I've ever done.
Light or was it dark?
Pitch black, absolutely. No sight at all, no light or vision.
Was that surprising to you?
Yeah, I thought I could see. I thought I would be able to see like sofas or something like that, but I saw nothing.
So what was that like?
Total darkness. I think you have to depend on the guy in front of you and the guy behind you to get you through this.
Was that surprising?
Yeah, the darkness was surprising. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Zach. Yeah, the total darkness is surprising.
So, Mayor, what was it like compared to what you thought it was like?
There is no comparison. Being in the simulated situation, I can't imagine what the real situation may be like. Basically, total blackness, a lot of heat, and you got to sort of feel your way through it all.
We'll put our hood up.
Soon it would be time for round two.
Got it? Yep.
And flip over. After this here.
I mean, we try to do it with gloves on, but it's hard. I mean, there we go.
So how do you feel about this one?
More nervous than I was the first time.
Ronnie's next experience inside would involve search and rescue, looking for a 180-pound dummy.
How was it?
Wow. That's, I have a newfound respect for you guys. I respected you before, but holy smokes.
This controlled environment gave Ronnie the chance to learn from firefighters more about the hidden dangers inside a burning structure.
You know how the heat is around your neck, okay? So take your glove off and hold your hand down at the bottom, okay? So whenever a victim hears a smoke detector, if it's too late, whenever they stand up, this is what gets them. So you feel how cool it is at the floor. Now very slowly raise your hand up above your head, and you'll feel that thermal flame get hotter, okay? And you're at face level right now. If you were to stand up at full, 5 feet, 6 feet high, think about what it would be like whenever you inhale that, okay?
The day had only begun. It wasn't just about smoke and fire, but about the physical endurance required to be a firefighter.
I feel like I'm sissied out on all of them.
How do you feel? What is it?
Oh, my back and my neck are so tight. These packs are heavy. I think they said about 20 to 30 pounds, not including all the gear that you're wearing. It's a lot of weight.
Can you see in there, Ronnie?
So this evolution, like every other of the 5, is something we do on every fire ground in one form or another. This has to be done. This is forcible entry. A lot of times we go to a fire in the middle of the night. They're out on vacation. They're not home. The doors are all locked up. We need to get in. The fire's not getting out unless we get in there to put the fire out. So
Fire Ops 101 turned out to be a great experience for all the participants, including Ronnie, and for her, a great television story.
Then we learned about forcible entry, venting a roof, extrication, and my personal favorite,
Next participant.
climbing a very, very tall ladder. This is the station that I was going to be able to do no problem, but I still didn't make it to the end, so we're good. Every participant walked away knowing that it takes the right gear, a lot of training, and someone very special to be a firefighter.
I mean, it's great to have a better understanding what these guys do on calls, because, in my office, I read the call sheets and I read the calls for service, and it's just a number, right? It's a piece of data, but it's a lot different coming out here and actually see the conditions that these guys work in, and helps the appreciation of how hard they work, the training. You have to stay fit. It's a hard job.
It's been a real good education in terms of better understanding the need for training, quality of equipment, and having the manpower to do the job.
We want them to do the job very efficiently and safely. So if we can get that equipment to them to do those things, that's our better equipped fire department will be way better off.
Yeah, if we're an engine company, that's all we're worried about is putting water on a fire. And then you got a truck company to go in and do search. We don't have that. So we got to do both. We got to do it all.
We operate a mixed bag. We're doing everything: rescue, fire.
These guys are great. They're unprecedented. They're good men. And it's been a wonderful experience. And again, it sensitizes us to what these people do. I mean, whether it's policemen or firemen, their adrenaline goes from 0 to 100 in a second.
When we lay our gear down, it's laid out the same way. When I set it at a station, it's laid out the same way. You're going to be more efficient if you practice doing things. You want muscle memory, doing it over and over and over again.
Right.
And that's part of that.
Well, Lincoln called his style leadership by wandering around, and that's kind of like what we're doing today, because if you actually go and experience what other people are going through, ultimately that's the best way to learn. It doesn't matter, you can read in a book or sit in a council meeting, but when you get out here,
with these departments, and you go through, I'm not going to say real world scenarios, but as real world as they can make them for unexperienced people like myself. It just goes miles beyond what you can learn just from sitting in a boardroom.
Which way is the nozzle going to be on? Which way is it going to go? This is the male, so ultimately this is going to the fire. Okay. Now if you get turned around, this will connect to the engine because this is female, which goes on to the male part. So this will lead you outside the building. Okay, and you know, smooth bump to the pump is what we call it.